Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome you back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Subday Challenge. This week is the Team Rocket Challenge, and I want to start by thanking all of you for submitting your challenge replays. It's always fun when you guys participate and I get to watch your things, and honestly, this series is for you, so I appreciate you guys continuing to support it by doing the challenges and sending me your replay links, because that's the point. This battle, which we're watching right now, was submitted by my good friend Sugar Puffs, who had a submission in last week. Again, just a reminder, every week, if you've got a YouTube channel of your own and you submit a replay, I'll put a link to your channel in the description. So there we go. Link to his channel will be in the description again. He has a very interesting team here built from only Pokemon that Team Rocket has been known to use, either in the games, the anime, or the manga. I believe are the main sources of Pokemon-related material. And so I put a link to a Bubblepedia page last week that Scad had originally given us when he called out the challenge, and so you guys could pick from those. And it looks like Sugar came up with some pretty fun different Pokemon. You got the Persian, obviously, the Tortoise, which they stole from the Safari Zone, and etc, etc. So very cool to see this going on. Giovanni's Golem and things like that. Sugar decided to do his playthrough in the PU tier, which actually ended up being a pretty popular one this week. And so he's got his Tauros going up against the Whalerain here, gets a nice crit on the Whalerain, and kills the Whalerain with a nice return from that Tauros. Tauros is going to go down from by a thrash from the Dodrio, as is Ninetales is going to take a hard hit there, do some good damage with that Fire Blast, and then they're going to switch the Dodrio out, bring in Behem. I don't know, whatever. And Ninetales is going to get a couple of good hits off before taking his Psychic and going down. At that point, Sugar's going to bring in Electabuzz, get the Volt Switch off, which is going to take Electabuzz out, bring Scyther back in to finish off the Dodrio. Scyther's going to take a Thrash, and then deal up an X-Scissor and take Dodrio down, leaving him with just his Electabuzz. So a nice close battle there between Sugar and RC17, and a good start to our Team Rocket Challenge this week. So thank you so much, Sugar. And again, everybody, link to Sugar's channel will be in the description down below. Alrighty, guys, let's jump into the next one, shall we? Alright, guys, here we go with my battle today. I, of course, chose to do my battle in Little Cup, and I went with a little bit more of a traditional Team Rocket team, at least from my standpoint, growing up on the anime and the games and stuff like that, playing my red and everything like that. I've got my Meowth lead here, and we went ahead and chipped away at the Tortuga here a bit, and Meowth doing as much as Meowth could at that point against an opponent like that. When Meowth goes down, I bring in Ekans and set up the coil, and we're going to take an Earthquake from the Tortuga, but we're going to Berry Juice back up, and then they're going to bring in their Ponyta, which are, unfortunately for them, going to take an Earthquake we had intended for the Tortuga, and again, unfortunately for them, they missed the Fire Blast there, so that's going to work to our advantage. Ekans ends up doing very well for us here today. They go for the Dragon Dance, but we had set up the Glare, knowing that Corphish can be kind of tricky, and so we got the Paralysis up on that before Ekans takes a hard Crabhammer and goes down. Worf comes in at that point. I decided to transfer Worf over from my First Road Rodents team, is where he's from. But you've got those Rocket Grunts with their Rattatas, so he comes in, gets a decent hit off on the Fletchling before going down. Why Not is going to take a U-turn, and then they're going to bring Tortuga in, and I had set up the counter on Why Not from the U-turn, so that's gonna take Tortuga out. So now they're down 3-3 here with us, and Why Not's going to take a U-turn, and again they're setting up a Pokemon for a good hard hit, and Fungus is going to take it in the face. So that's unfortunate for them. They kind of killed two of their Pokemon there for me, but hey, it works. You don't want to waste your Mind Fu or something like that at that point. So Coughing's going to come in, and he's going to get the burn up on the Fletchling. Fletchling's going to use the Roost. Unfortunately for me, I was never in a position where I felt comfortable enough going for the Pain Split, except for right there. They heal back up to almost full a couple of times, and I decided to just go for it. I'm like, forget it. I've got enough health that I can withstand at least one Air Acrobatics. and so I figure I'm just going to do it. I hit him again here, and the burn's going to take out the fletchling, which is exactly what I wanted to do, because that means they've got to waste their fake out on coughing here, and leaves me wide open to bring in Zubat, who's going to throw up the Brave Bird. And I decide, oh, you know, I kind of want Zubat to be alive at the end of this battle, so I go for the U-turn here. They used the fake out. We were talking. They knew they were dead, so they went for fake out just because they're like, oh, it's over. But my stupid move, I went with U-turn as opposed to Brave Bird because I didn't want the recoil to kill Zubat. It was just, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted Zubat alive, but I would have lost that battle otherwise. So thank you to Krubby. Krubby is actually a sub of mine. We were talking a little bit here in the chat as we were going. He's like, wait, are you Tortimer? And I was like, yeah, and so we were chatting and it was fun. But yeah, I almost lost that battle for myself, screwing around there with the U-turn at the end. Could have just gone ahead and, I guess it would have been a tie if Zubat had died. What? I don't know if I've ever done that before. Imagine, no, I still would have won because their Pokemon would have died first. Anyway, so yeah, that was my attempt. Let's check out the next one, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with battle number 3. Up in the top right, we'll see Scadrill and his team. And so this is Scad's challenge. He decided to do his in NU this week. And he led off with his Sandslash and throwing up the Sandstorm and all this stuff. They've got a Xatu behind the substitute who's going to be trying to stall out things a little bit. But Scad brings in his Steelix, and if I'm not mistaken, Steelix is going to boom, Mega Evolve! And so he's got Mega Steelix here, which is pretty cool. I haven't really seen Mega Steelix used before. And so he brings out the Mega Steelix, he breaks Xatu's sub. Steelix is going to take a Psychic, but then throw up the Stone Edge and take down the Xatu. As Steelix's do, Magmortar comes in with the Lava Plume and is going to take out the Mega Steelix. But that's going to allow Scad to come back in with his Sandslash and take out the Magmortar with one hit. They bring in their Exeggutor, at which point Scad's going to bring in his Shiny Weezing, and Weezing's going to come in and going to get Leech Seeded, but he's got the Black Sludge, which is going to help him out. Exeggutor's trying to stall things out a little bit, get more Leech Seed damage off, but again, with the Black Sludge, it's almost negligible. So they switch out. Zangoose is going to take a Sludge Bomb, and then going to get poisoned, so it's going to go for the Fire Punch, but Weezing's going to get the Flamethrower off. Again, Leech Seed's doing a little more damage than the Black Sludge was at that point, so they go ahead and switch out. Electivire is going to take a Fire Punch, come in and get the Cross Chop off on the Rhydon with the switch, and then Sandslash comes in again, going to take an Earthquake, but is going to be faster than the Rhydon, so it's going to land an Earthquake before going down to another Earthquake, so whoo, all over the place there, but the Cross Chop is going to be enough to take down the Rhydon. Zangoose comes in and takes down the Electivire, leaving them 3-3, so pretty well matched here. The Dodrio comes in and is going to take out the Zangoose with a return, and then Weezing is going to come back in at the side of the Credilli, and they're going to Pain Split to get the health back up, and then he's going to, laugh at the Seed Bomb there, get the Will-O-Wisp up on the Credilli, and so they're going to start setting up here. Whew, Sludge Bomb's doing nothing at that point, but thankfully neither is Seed Bomb, so they're kind of at a stall point there. Noticing that, Scad's going to switch in the Jinx, who's going to get the Trick up and steal the Citrus Berry from the Exeggutor, which will eliminate any Harvest abilities, I think, at that point. The Ice Beam lands, though, on the switched-in Credilli, which is going to be enough to finally kill that thing. And then Exeggutor is going to come in and as well take an Ice Beam and go down. So kind of a fun battle there from Scad. 27 turns, so longer than at least my average battle is. Usually I wipe them out pretty quickly. But yeah, so a fun battle, a cool team. I like seeing the Team Rocket little character avatars there that some of you guys chose to use. That was pretty cool. I didn't think to do that for myself. But yeah, so thank you, Scad, for putting in a battle. Greatly appreciate it. Let's check out the next one, shall we? Alright guys, here we go with another one. This one comes from Addy. He's another one of my friends from the Farside server who also happen to like Pokemon. and he put in a submission this week, also going with the Team Rocket avatar there. But yeah, thank you, Addy, for your submission. A link to Addy and Mukrose's channel will be in the description below. Surprised none of these Pokemon spell out his YouTube channel. He's pretty proficient at getting the word out there. But Addy decided to go for RU, and he has a very cool team here. Some more classic Team Rocket Pokemon again. Vileplume gets taunted and scalded by the Jellicent, but the Giga Drain's going to do pretty well for Addy here, so that's going to do very nicely. Jellicent is going to go for the recover there, but it's not getting all of its health back, so kind of a back and forth here with Vileplume and Jellicent is eventually going to overwhelm the defenses there. They decide to go for the taunt again, but Addy's not dumb. He goes for the Giga Drain and just kills Jellicent, so that works out very nicely. Vileplume doing good work there. Cresselia comes in. They bring in the Hypno, mostly because that's one of the only Pokemon in the team that could possibly stand up to a Cresselia at this point, because half of his team is poison. So Hypno comes in. He's going to be setting up with some nasty plots, and the Paralysis isn't doing too much against him at this point. He's not getting any Parahacks or anything like that, so that works out very nicely in his favor. Taking these Moonblasts like it's nobody's business. I'm not sure what Cresselia is trying to. I don't know what it's hoping to accomplish there. But Addy goes for the Hypnosis there, misses it, but finally lands it here, and that puts the Cresselia to sleep, which is going to keep him from at least having to take those little Moonblasts from it. And with his 3.5 times special attack, he's able to get a decent hit landed on Cresselia with the Dazzling Gleam, and again does another good hit there. Cresselia's got a healing move in Moonlight, and Addy's not doing a ton, even with the 3.5 times special attack bonus. So is again going to kind of become a little bit of a stall thing here, just because Hypno, as set up as he is, doesn't have anything super effective against the Cresselia, and so it's just kind of a battle of wills here at this point, because you know, Hypno's not taking much damage, but he's not dealing enough to really make up for the Moonlight here, because again, Cresselia is just kind of getting back up to the same thing after a couple of moves. So finally he gets a break here where the special defense gets lowered by the Psychic, which is going to give him a little bit more of an ability there, like with that move. The slight lowering in the defenses allows him to get enough of a powerful move in there to take it out. And then with the wall of Cresselia gone, Hypno is able to pretty well sweep through the rest of the team without much trouble. As Wishmacott goes down, no trouble. Sigliff, despite his best efforts, can't do anything there, and is going to take 2 Dazzling Gleams to the face and go down. So a cool little battle there. Addy didn't get to a lot of his Pokemon, but still a cool little team put together there. Hypno did some good work, and it was cool to see this battle. You know, I love you guys trying out the different tiers. A pretty decent amount of variety here in this week's challenge. So let's jump into the next one, shall we? Here we go. Alright guys, here we go with the final battle for this week's challenges. This one comes from Sub Thunder Rainbow, and Thunder decided to go in the PU tier as Sugar did, and he's got a very cool little team here made of Golem, Arbok, Golduck, Ninetales, Tauros, and Electrode. So very cool team here. I'm not sure why when replays come out they always have the person who's capturing the replay up in the top right. I feel like it should be the other way around. And/or I think Showdown should really have an option to switch, like, oh, I want to see it from the other person's perspective, which would be fantastic. But anyway, Thunder comes in. Terry the Tauros does a hard hit on the Raichu there, taking it down. Gonna do another hard hit here on Corsola before going down from recoil damage. Corsola's gonna get the rocks up, which is gonna be a bit annoying, but Naomi comes in and quickly and easily handles the Corsola, so that's no problem at all. Swanna then's gonna come in and throw up the Scald on Naomi, who's gonna take down the poor Ninetales. But Kim, the Electrode, comes in and is going to go ahead and Volt Switch on what ends up being the Mr. Mime after a switch, and then Sebastian comes in. May not be the best matchup against a Mr. Mime that could have had, but the Gunk Shot does real good damage, and Mr. Mime almost goes out, but unfortunately the Psyshock is just too strong, and Arbok's going to go down. So, as Thunder's battle ends up wrapping up here, I want to give you guys next week's challenge. This one comes from Thunder himself, and the challenge is called the Mono Animal Challenge. And just like with the other challenges we've done so far, no tier specification, and this one should just be more of a fun one. He wants us to make a team consisting of like one animal type. And this may get a little tricky, because there may not be like 6 Pokemon that are very clearly, what we've got Mighty Anna here. You may have to fudge it a little bit to get 6 of like one kind of animal. But you have to use a team fully based around an animal or very closely resembling that animal, and just kind of have fun with it. We're not going to be too much of sticklers, but try and stick to the challenge parameters as best as you can. I'm excited to get in there and play around with some different kinds, but I think it should be fun. Other than that, no real restrictions. Just kind of do your best effort to make a team based around one real-world animal or creature or whatever, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that's this week's coming up challenge. Make sure you guys get those in by. I'm gonna cap it at like at the end of day Thursday is gonna be the cutoff there, because Friday is the end of my recording week. So if it's not in by the end of the day Thursday, it's probably not going to happen. So get them in by the end of the day Thursday, and make sure you guys give me some more ideas for challenges. I appreciate you guys continuing to both submit your replays and come up with challenges, ideas. That's fantastic. This is a series you guys wanted, and I'm loving seeing you guys continue to participate in it. That's fantastic. So thank you guys so much. Make sure to get your replays in. If you guys aren't familiar with Showdown, the link's in the description below. It's free and easy to use, so if you're watching this and you want to participate, there's nothing stopping you. Just jump on Showdown, get a team put together, and send me the replay. That's all you got to do. It's real simple. So I'm looking forward to you guys participating this week in the Mono Animal Challenge, and I'll see you guys next week. As always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.